see another says 100.
Today on the Morning Edition, the chaos around an email to federal employees continues. We've got the latest on the mixed messages that they're receiving.
In Juneau, discussions about a proposal for free school lunches and how lawmakers are leaning on the issue, plus where the money could be coming from to manage it all.
And later, a sugar rush and a sticky situation. A possum gets busted after polishing off an entire Costco chocolate cake, leaving nothing but footprints and a food coma as the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. On this Tuesday, a possum eating an entire chocolate cake. Not what you think you'd hear on a Tuesday morning.
To be fair, those cakes are delicious. Have you ever had that one with the chocolate layers?
Is this a specific one at Costco?
Good. Yes, it is so good. Try it.
I haven't had that one.
I don't blame him.
No, yeah. Yeah. Have we all done this?
Yeah. And we have the lovely Tracy Sinclair in for Aaron all week. Good morning. It's a lovely morning.
It is a lovely morning. She mocks me because I use the word lovely a lot. But it is lovely out there.
Yes.
28 degrees out at Stevens International Airport. Winds a little bit light, only to about 6 miles per hour, but it does feel like it's 22 degrees. So just kind of be prepared for that as you're getting up and getting out the door because, yes, temperatures around the Anchorage area were mainly in those 20s. Into the interior, a little bit colder for you in Fairbanks, 11 right now. And this is taking a look at a current picture on University Avenue. Here's what we've got across the Anchorage area. 27 over at Campbell Creek Science Center, 29 in Muldoon, Jay Barrett 29 as well, Eagle River in the upper 20s, Merrifield and New Seward and Huffman both at 30 degrees. Over the next couple of days, things stay pretty consistent. We are going to start to see a slight change by later today or later on Wednesday, but for today and tomorrow, very similar conditions. Except for Southeast. Southeast, you are going to see more and more of the same things that you probably don't need. Rain is headed your way and some high winds. So we've got two things going on right around the Haines, Skagway area. We've got a winter weather advisory. That's in place for some moderate snow until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Then we've also got a winter storm watch because this next system that's moving in, not quite sure how much lift it's going to have, how much strength it's going to have, but it could dump a lot of snow in that area. We're also set up with a high wind watch for the areas around Ketchikan for tomorrow. Now, right now, across the state, it's snowing again in Fairbanks. McGrath, you're at 11 and mostly cloudy. 9 below in Costview with some clear skies, and Dillingham at 27, Cold Bay, you're at mostly cloudy and 28. Around South Central, we're at mostly cloudy skies, pretty consistently around the region. A few showers expected today in Cordova, off and on. Overall, you'll see mostly cloudy skies. And for the Anchorage area, well, temperatures staying very consistent throughout the week, but near 40 degrees by the weekend.
There was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working.
President Trump praised Elon Musk for his email to nearly 2 million federal workers threatening terminations, but some federal employees are now being told not to respond. New this morning, that is leaving more confusion for workers after a midnight deadline passed to respond to that email asking them to list their accomplishments last week.
Trump advisor Elon Musk said workers who don't respond would be fired. Some agency heads told their employees not to reply back, and the federal government says responding was optional. Here's Alice Barr from Washington to sort it all out.
A new twist this morning after the midnight deadline passed on that controversial email asking government workers to explain what they did on the job last week. Department of Government Efficiency head Elon Musk posting overnight, quote, failure to respond a second time will result in termination. That after the Trump administration told the heads of federal agencies that responding was voluntary. And several departments dealing with classified information, including state justice and defense, told employees to wait or not reply, even as President Trump defended the demand.
What he's doing is saying, are you actually working?
A California lawsuit by a coalition of labor unions aims to block any firings connected to the email. Mark Smith represents Veterans Affairs nurses.
When I go to my own healthcare provider, I want that provider to be laser focused on my care. I don't want that provider to have to be worrying about emails that they're getting from some unelected billionaire
While at a town hall in Missouri, a large crowd confronted one Republican representative.
We are being discounted by those in Washington, claiming that we're the swamp and we're the fraud, waste, and abuse. No.
Lawmakers divided.
Asking people to justify their work, I think, is a reasonable step.
There is a way to do this that is proper, that is lawful, and also treats our federal employees with a little bit of dignity.
3 sources tell NBC News responses to the email would be fed into an advanced AI system to determine whether an employee's work is mission critical, leaving federal workers at a critical crossroads. We're hearing from House Republicans that a group of them is set to meet with President Trump today, and some are planning to press for more information and more compassion toward federal workers after getting an earful from their constituents at town halls across the country. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
On the trade front, President Trump believes Ukraine is close to signing a minerals deal with the U.S. The president also said planned 25% tariffs on all imports from Canada and Mexico are still on schedule to begin next month, following a month-long pause.
The impacts of federal cuts and layoffs here in Alaska go beyond national parks and federal land. Take the Denali Borough, with much of its economy centered around this mountain and the Denali National Park and Preserve. The mayor of the borough says those cuts have created a lot of uncertainty and concern for the community. Mayor Chris Noel says some 130 of the nearly 1,600 residents are year-round employees for the national park. He says about 20 of those employees have already resigned or got cut, and seasonal staff hires have come late. Concerns for the borough surround the impacts the cuts might have on local opportunities.
Because, we're in a relatively small community down here, and so when something happens, we're all kind of in it together, and local first responders all pitch in. And so whether it's EMS services inside the park or EMS or law enforcement outside of the park, response agencies kind of go both ways and help provide support in the event of an emergency.
With federal cuts impacting the park and other federal response personnel, Noel is uncertain as to how that will impact response to fires such as the Riley Fire, which ravaged a large section of land in the park last year. We have more on how these cuts are impacting Alaska, including a breakdown of how much the state could lose in tourism revenue on our streaming platforms. Just add the Alaska's News Source channel to your lineup on Roku, Amazon Fire, or others. It's an easy way to watch the news your way. Last week, Representative Nick Begich addressed the Alaska legislature about the mass layoffs to federal employment. Begich said Alaska had become too federally dependent.
I think this moment highlights the fact that Alaska has become too federally dependent, and we need to increase the diversity of that mix with the private sector.
Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan, he commented on Facebook, job losses are always difficult on families and communities, especially in a tight-knit state like ours. I am working diligently to gather more information on what federal positions in Alaska have been cut and how they impact local communities. Adding, I am working relentlessly with the Trump administration to bring those jobs and more private sector opportunities back to our state.
Turning to Capitol coverage, a new bill proposed by Governor Dunleavy is stirring debate in Juneau. House Bill 111 would allow finfish farming in Alaska, but with limits. It would not permit salmon farms, but would allow small-scale operations, arguing it could boost the economy and improve food security, reducing Alaska's reliance on imports. But opposition is strong. Some lawmakers and fishing industry leaders worry it could threaten wild fish populations and disrupt local ecosystems.
The only fish we can grow is a goldfish. Yet, we import catfish. We import tilapia. We import other types of fish grown in other places in the world. Why not grow trout here in Alaska for Alaskans' consumption? We'll have a better product. We'll have another small growth industry.
There's tremendous concern. We've got probably the best fishery in the world here in Alaska. And I know the governor is proposing to do this only in closed waters, but we have floods all the time, fish escape all the time. Haven't you ever seen Jurassic Park, right? Things happen that you can't predict, and And I think it's a risk to our fishery.
The bill was introduced in the state Senate and referred to the Resource Committee. We reached out to Dunleavy for an interview, and they referred us to the video they released online.
Also in Capitol coverage, lawmakers are debating a cell phone ban in public schools, including lunch and passing periods. House Bill 57, sponsored by Representative Zach Fields, argues that limiting phone use could improve student mental health and reduce bullying. But opponents say phones are crucial for emergencies and parent communication. The bill combines previous attempts to restrict phone use in schools and is still up for discussion.
As there's been a growing body of evidence about the negative impact of cell phones and social media on academic achievement, both myself, Senator Woolikowski, and the Dunleavy administration all independently drafted bills to do essentially the same thing late last year. So my bill is now consistent with the proposed language from the administration, and we had a lot of discussion about that.
Under Fields' bill, the certain technology, like some hearing aids that use wireless technology, would still be allowed. The bill was held in committee Monday.
Education funding remains in spotlight at the Capitol. During a first hearing, a new bill aims to provide free school meals for all students in Alaska. House Bill 12, sponsored by Representative Maxine Dybert, seeks state funding to replace expired federal aid. Supporters say half of Alaska students do qualify for free or reduced price meals, but covering all would cost over $28 million.
Nearly 20% of Alaskan children live in homes that experience food insecurity at some point during the year. But the benefits of this legislation go beyond supporting student nutrition.
I'm a little bit concerned about the extra cost of this program to administer, because we have several rural schools where for various reasons, our kitchens don't qualify.
At least 8 states have already passed school meals for all policies. The bill was held and is expected to be taken up again in the near future.
After the break, there's a battle brewing over Anchorage's building code. Some want to update construction rules, but others say the changes could alter neighborhoods too much. We have a debate over development, and later.
Full throttle to victory. Team 20 dominated the Iron Dog from start to finish. Now they're eyeing history. How these veterans prove they're still at the top of their game.
And your sunrise sunset times here in Anchorage, we have passed the 10 hours of daylight mark. 10 hours and 4 minutes for today. Sunrise this morning will be at 8:10, sunset at 6:15. Fairbanks, you're getting very close. 9 hours and 43 minutes for you. Juneau, you're already past that 10-hour mark as well. And so is Bethel. I'll have your full forecast when we come back.
Welcome back. The sky over Wasilla put on a show, and this time-lapse video captured every stunning moment. Watch as the sun dips, painting the sky with shades of orange, yellow, and blue.
Yeah, the clouds drift, the light fades, and there you have it. The colors shift in a spectacular display of nature's artwork. Kind of a perfect reminder of just how beautiful an Alaskan sunset can be. I'll give it that. You know, no matter the season, we have beautiful sunrises and sunsets, I'll say.
It is like a live painting.
Yeah. It is lovely. Yeah. We'll just sit here and watch this. This is beautiful.
Oh, so pretty.
Yes. We did, the other night, Saturday night, beautiful, beautiful sunset, sitting at dinner, just watching the sun go down. And we just kept looking over going, it's even better.
Yeah.
How is it even better than it was 5 minutes ago? Yeah, we get these beautiful sunsets. Cannot outdo them here in Alaska. We love them. So if you get great photos and videos, you can send them to us. We'll always throw in that pitch. We would love to see your photos, videos of sunsets, animals, family and friends, whatever part of Alaska you want to show us, we want to see it. Here's what we've got going on across the state. Overall, things staying pretty consistent, at least through today and into tomorrow. Southeast, though, you're kind of the outlier. You are expecting to see a new system headed your way, and it's got a lot of precipitation with it. Here's that system. It is going to start moving in overnight tonight and into tomorrow. fairly strong, could also bring in some intense winds as it moves through. Those would be particularly in the southern portion of the Panhandle. So we'll keep watch on that. Parts of South Central could also see it, particularly just the North Gulf Coast, but it's really not moving into inland areas of South Central or really impacting much of the interior and northern portions of the state where you'll continue to see those mostly clear skies. Behind it, though, we've got another system which is sliding a little farther to the west. So this one is going to move into the Kodiak area and then into South Central, likely seeing a bit more influence on the Kenai Peninsula and possibly even here in the Anchorage area as we move to the weekend. So those winds that we've been talking about, we will keep watch on those. Really, down in Juneau and Sitka, you're seeing winds to about 24 miles per hour. Those have been the strongest gusts that we can find. Southeast Alaska for today, you're going to see rain and those slightly elevated winds. Winds to about 15 miles per hour overall, but later on tonight and into tomorrow is the possibility of those stronger winds. Pretty consistently at sea level, it will be rain. At those higher elevations, you could see snow around the White Pass area. Into the interior, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. A few extra clouds for Delta Junction and Tok. Temperatures into the teens, though, double digits in Fairbanks, probably to about 11 degrees. Northern Alaska, it's cold, but this is actually average and pretty typical for this time of year. We're also going to see some mostly clear skies for you. Highs today around Anativik Pass to 10 below. And out to the west, another day with some mostly sunny skies from McGrath to Kotzebue. Highs today just a little bit above zero, 4 in Kotzebue and in Galena. Out toward the Aleutian Islands, Alaska Peninsula, Pribilof Islands, more clouds than anything else, mostly cloudy for you, mid-30s for your highs today. A little bit warmer on the Kenai. Once again, we are expecting to get near 40 degrees for Homer and Seward, even until Soldotna with those partly sunny skies. So mostly cloudy, but you'll see a few sunny breaks coming into the area. Could see a bit of rain and snow around Whittier, but partly sunny as well in Prince William Sound. And into the valleys, we're also looking for a little bit of sunshine. You're feeling the influence from those same clear skies that we're getting into the interior. They are drifting all the way down into the valley, but temperatures stay warm into the upper 30s. In Anchorage, we're going to see mid to upper 30s throughout the week. The ceremonial start of the Iditarod is Saturday, and we will see a temperature of about 38 degrees. But when we move to Fairbanks for the official start on Monday, it's going to be warm as well. Guys, it could be 31 degrees when they start, the official start in Fairbanks. So that's a little bit warm for the dogs when they get out and go running.
Yeah, they're not going to like that much.
I know.
No.
All right, thanks, Tracy.
Covering Anchorage, the municipality hosted a forum to address challenges with new construction requirements.
The goal of the updated code was to streamline the rules to boost development in the Anchorage Bowl. The host of the forum outlined what they consider to be a time bomb in the ordinance that was frozen shortly after it went into effect on January 1st. The updated code initially meant to improve pedestrian access and regulate driveways and parking lots.
However, some residents expressed concerns about neighborhoods losing their unique character. Anchorage Assemblymember Daniel Volland responded to questions about possible alternatives as the city continues working towards a solution.
And I think this work is targeted at protecting some of the things that people really enjoy about their neighborhoods. Again, the windows on the front of the building, so you're not just looking at a blank wall.
The next steps for this code is another work session on March 3rd, where the public can come and see the work at the LUSAC Library, and then it will head to the Assembly for further discussions.
The Anchorage School District is proposing a new home for 2 charter schools. A district memo recommends moving Rilke Schule German Immersion School into Lakehood Elementary and Highland Academy Charter School into the current Unaka Valley Elementary building. Both elementary schools are closing at the end of the school year as part of the district's right-sizing plan. If approved, the move would save the charter schools rent costs, though they would still cover utilities and maintenance. The school board will vote on the proposal April 1st.
You've been listening to the Alaska's News Source podcast. Subscribe to have the latest episodes delivered to your library automatically.